Sports Interactive NFL preview show for the 2022 season. I'm Joe Mahan, and for the next hour, we're going to be talking about the upcoming season, and we're going to start right away with the AFC Patriots division. In that division, you got the Pats, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. We'll start the show talking about the New England Patriots. So I'm a homer. I'm going to pick the Patriots to win their division. Bills make the playoffs, finish second in the division. Jets and Dolphins not making the divisions. Jets, I'm going to pick finish fourth. But they haven't made the Super Bowl since 1969, so I'm not going out on a limb on that one as far as the Jets. Miami, I think Miami made a big mistake a few years ago drafting Tua instead of Justin Herbert, who's now with the Chargers. Big mistake. But I'm not complaining. I'm a Patriots fan. I wouldn't want Justin Herbert in my division. But let's talk about the Patriots. Bill Belichick. He needs, I believe, 27 wins to break Don Shula's all-time record. So if Belichick could win 14-14 the next two seasons, he's got the all-time record for wins by an NFL head coach. I think the Patriots, they went to the playoffs last year, got crushed by Buffalo, an embarrassment, but with the rookie quarterback making the playoffs, did a good job. One of the things that's, I think, going to hurt the Patriots is losing their offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. Devastating loss. Now, Josh McDaniels is now the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Tough division. We'll be getting to that later on in the show, talking about the Raiders. But back to Belichick. 6 championships, Michael Jordan territory. Tom Brady leaves, wins another one. Now Tom Brady has 7 championships. Belichick, some believe he's the greatest coach of all time. Others say it's Lombardi. It's kind of 1 in 1A. Vince Lombardi had a 7-1 championship game record. 5-1 in NFL title games, and Lombardi and the Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls. So either way, Lombardi, Belichick, greatest NFL coaches of all time. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. They're in my division. I don't like to see a team that good, but I really like Josh Allen. I like that coaching staff. Just on the right track. But Buffalo, the last 2 years, they've lost in the playoffs to Kansas City. Last year, Buffalo goes into Kansas City, scores 38 and loses 41-38. So Buffalo fans must be saying, where's some defense? We scored 38 on the road and can't get to the Super Bowl. So Buffalo, with all their lot of talking smack, how good their defense is, it wasn't good in that game. Gave up 41 points. So Buffalo, I see them taking a step back this year. And the Patriots rising up. But the key is Pat's going to beat them twice in the division play. As far as the Jets are the Jets. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since 1969. They've gone to 1 Super Bowl, that one, and won it with Joe Willie Namath. So the Jets are a disaster, to say the least. Dolphins also mini disaster. Fire Brian Flores. There was a lot going on there. Stephen Ross, a Dolphins fan I was talking to yesterday, compares Stephen Ross to Daniel Snyder of Washington. That's not good. So Stephen Ross basically got rid of Brian Flores and kept the general manager who drafted Tua over Justin Herbert. But why am I complaining? That's Miami. They're in my division. I'm a Patriots fan. Keep doing what you're doing and not getting the job done. So the big concern for Patriots fans is the Bills, and we got to take care of business ourselves, the Patriots. So Belichick, get the job done. I was telling my good friend, we love talking Patriots, that I think that Patriots defense has to get younger. fly around for the ball like Jimmy Johnson's teams used to do. Yeah, sometimes in the playoffs it's good to have grizzled veterans, but sometimes when they get up there, they don't want to be flying to the ball. I'll take young players, hungry, and as much as I love Dante Hightower, might be time. He might have stepped away. Might be time to go. Jamie Collins, I never really thought he was that good. They brought him back once. They got rid of him, brought him back. We'll see. McCourty, Hall of Famer. So Patriots, hopefully get that defense young, get a young squad, and get the job done. Mr. Belichick, prove that you can do it without Brady, because he's proven he can do it without you. So, but I respect them both, Belichick and Brady. Tampa Bay is my second favorite team now that Tom's there. So that's going to wrap up the AFC East. Now let's go to the AFC North. The Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens. That's a tough one to pick who's going to win that division. I tell you what, that's a really tough one. I'm going to go with the Bengals. They went to the Super Bowl last year. I know they're the Bengals, but Steelers, Big Ben is gone. The Ravens, I like Lamar Jackson. I'll take him as my quarterback any day. And the Browns are the Browns are the Browns. Baker Mayfield's gone. He's in Carolina. They bring in Deshaun Watson with all that turmoil and what was going on in his legal matters. So that's why the Browns are the Browns. The Browns are one of the original NFL teams, have never been to the Super Bowl. Never even been. Just terrible, disgraceful. Get the job done because Browns, they got great fans. Great fans. Bengals, Joe Burrow, you got to love him. Gets injured his rookie year, comes back his second year, leads the team to the Super Bowl. So the Bengals are unbelievable. Like I said, the Browns are the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. Just awful. Just can't get the job done with such good fans. That's the thing that must be disappointing to Browns fans. Okay, now let's switch to the AFC South. The Titans, the Colts, the Jags, the Texans. Let's talk about the Titans with Mike Vrabel, former Patriot, 3 championships. I root for the Titans unless it's playing against the Patriots for the reason of Mike Vrabel's the coach. I think Mike Vrabel is a Hall of Famer, but maybe someday he'll get in. We'll see. But the Titans have missed on some golden opportunities. Went to an AFC championship game. They lose. Last year, they're the number 1 seed. The Bengals come in to Tennessee's home stadium and spank them. So the Titans have been getting to the playoffs, but have not been capitalizing on these opportunities. The Colts, well, you hear on sports radio, the Colts got a great GM. Yeah, they got a great. They're on their 3rd quarterback in 3 years. Phillip Rivers, last year Carson Wentz, and this year Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Now, I think that Phillip Rivers got him to the playoff. Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. He's got all the ability, but he's too risky. And now they bring in Matty Ice, which I think that's good for them. And that Matt Ryan coming to the Colts, I think that was good for both organizations, the Colts and the Falcons, because now the Falcons can rebuild. They got a second-year coach. Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, maybe can get back to a Super Bowl and atone for what happened that last time when they were up 28-3. The Jags are the Jags. But here's a good thing for Jags fans. I don't know how many there are, certainly watching this program, but Trevor Lawrence, his second year, but now Trevor Lawrence has a Super Bowl winning coach, Doug Peterson, who won that Super Bowl with the Eagles, and Patriots fans remember that name, Doug Peterson. Plus, Doug Peterson played in the NFL as a quarterback. So I think that's going to be wonderful for Trevor Lawrence, get a Super Bowl winning coach in there who played in the league as a quarterback. So I think that was an excellent hire with Doug Peterson. The Urban Meyer fiasco. Last year on this show, I said, watch out that the Jags might make some noise in that division with Urban Meyer, and whoa, was I wrong. Total disaster with Urban Meyer. What happened, the arrogance, just an excellent college coach, just didn't get it done on the pro level. Didn't even know who Aaron Donald was. Before a game, he said, "I hear 99 can cause some trouble." Can cause some trouble? Number 99, Aaron Donald's a first ballot Hall of Famer. If you don't know who that is, that was a bad interview process by the Jags. But the Jags figured, Shad Khan, the owner, well, Urban Meyer is arguably one of the top 3 or 4 college football coaches in history. We'll roll the dice with him, Urban Meyer for the Jags. But, you rolled the dice, but man, you lost. But that's the way it goes. You took a chance. The Texans are the Texans. Absolute disaster. Good move getting rid of Deshaun Watson with all that legal matters going on. That's all I'm going to say. Just terrible. Get rid of them. The Texans are the Texans. Now, let's move to the AFC West. The Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders, as Chris Berman would say. The Chiefs, another team that they got a championship, but they have wasted opportunities. 4 years in a row, the Chiefs have had the AFC Championship game in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. They got to the Super Bowl twice, won one, lost one, and lost 2 AFC Championship games at home. Lost to the Patriots with Tom Brady in that Tom Brady year, and they lost to Joe Burrow. But you got to say, hey, Patrick Mahomes and the crew has a ring, but missed opportunities, I think. 4 straight years, you got the AFC Championship game in your stadium, and you go to 2 Super Bowls, but it could be worse. They got a championship out of it. So Patrick Mahomes, one of the best. I enjoy watching him play. I think he's got to calm down with the running and the diving. That's not a recipe for a long career, because he certainly has the talent to roll out, throw it, stand in the pocket, and just throw darts. So Patrick Mahomes, an incredible talent. Not in that overtime, though, in the AFC Championship game, throwing that pick. All right, let's talk about the Broncos. Big news. Russell Wilson goes to the Broncos into that tough division. We'll see. But the Broncos did it with Peyton Manning. They brought him in. Went to a couple Super Bowls, won one. So maybe that's a recipe for success again for Broncos fans. The Chargers, I'm big on Justin Herbert. This is not just one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. This is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. 6'5". They say that he doesn't throw a football. He throws javelins. Amazing arm. Mobile, can run. Was a 4.0 student. And just amazing player. And the Dolphins picked Tua over him. Just unheard of. And the thing about Tua, yes, he won in college, but he injured his hip in college. And the Dolphins are spending a number 5 pick overall on Tua for someone who's coming off a dislocated hip when you've got Justin Herbert there. But that's why the Dolphins are the Dolphins. That's why doing things like that. Just, Justin Herbert's just too good to let that go. And now let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh McDaniels now takes over as the head coach. They bring in Devontae Adams from Green Bay. Derek Carr, doing a good job. But I lived in Las Vegas for 16 years. I'm back living in my home state of Rhode Island again. From Rhode Island. Las Vegas is a fantastic, fantastic city. They want the best. You see, the Raiders have a state-of-the-art stadium. Already their ticket sales, some of the best in the league, because other teams will come in. Say if Green Bay's playing Las Vegas. Well, Green Bay fans are going to come in for the weekend in Las Vegas to watch the game. It's perfect. So, I don't know with that division. I mean, I would have to say I'm picking the Chiefs to win that division. But, we'll see as far as Russell Wilson. Now he's away from Pete Carroll and that run-centric 1990s offense. But Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson didn't get the job done on the 1-yard line in that Super Bowl and second down. What are you doing? Throwing the ball on second down, you got at the 1-yard line with the timeout. So just the worst call in Super Bowl history. Pete Carroll at the 1 yard line. But Russell Wilson's going to take some heat for that also. He threw the interception. When the play came in, he could have said, we're not running this play. Let's do a quarterback sneak or give it to beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. Russell Wilson had a Super Bowl ring in his back pocket from the previous year. So Pete Carroll gets all the heat for that, what happened in that Seattle Super Bowl. But Russell Wilson, get the job done. You're at the 2 yard, and I don't know why I'm complaining. I'm a Patriots fan. But just absolute disaster what happened to Seattle. But we'll see if Russell Wilson can rebound. He wanted out. He's out. Let's see how he does. We're going to talk a little bit about Mac Jones. Good rookie year. I hear he's really gotten in good shape. I would hope. You're a pro athlete. So Mac Jones, I think, is a good quarterback. Belichick, going for the all-time wins. We'll see. Robert Kraft. How long is he going to go with Belichick not getting it done? Now, they got to the playoffs last year, and now Josh McDaniels is gone. So we'll see. How long is Robert Kraft going to have patience? All right, now some other things within the AFC. Baker Mayfield's gone. He's now in the NFC. I think he's decent. He wasn't worth the #1 pick, but that's why the Browns are the Browns. But Baker Mayfield can run an offense. He hurt his shoulder. He threw an interception. He tried to tackle the safety, and that's how his shoulder popped out. But Baker's not great, but he can run an offense. I think if you get him with a stable organization, I'm not saying Carolina is that, but their owner, David Tepper, wants results. He made all his money on Wall Street. He's not going to. This is probably it for Matt Rule. This is his 3rd year if he doesn't start getting it done. And Matt Rule really was impressive in college, building 2 programs. Talked about Deshaun Watson, just a disaster with his legal proceedings, unprofessional. They were right. Get rid of him. And he's not. He's good. He's not that good. Joe Burrow, of course, fantastic. Lamar and Mitch Trubisky now is with the Steelers. I like Mitch. He's got a winning record with the Bears when he was with the Bears. Went to the playoffs twice. I like Mitch Trubisky. Another very athletic, can run an offense. So I think that was a good pickup for the Steelers, Mitch Trubisky. And now Big Ben is gone, retired. Big Ben, 2 Super Bowl championships, 3 Super Bowl appearances. So Big Ben, they're going to miss him. You can't really say what are the regrets with 2 Super Bowl championships and 3 appearances, but one of the big knocks on Big Ben was he just wasn't in shape. And coming into camp not in shape and not being in shape through the season. I mean, you're a professional athlete. You would think you would be in shape. But Big Ben is a future Hall of Fame. But if Big Ben was in Gronkowski shape, who knows? Things might have been a lot different. Mike Tomlin, good coach. Good coach. Players love him. You can't say he's got a Super Bowl championship. A few more things in the AFC. Matty Ice again with the Colts. Cool nickname, Matt Ryan. Vrabel, he's got to figure things out. He's got the talent to get to a Super Bowl. Houston, now they got Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith took the Bears to a Super Bowl. So I think you'll get some stability with Lovie Smith in there. Good coach, pro, so we'll see. And like I said earlier, the Colts, 3 quarterbacks in 3 years. Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and now Matt Ryan. So they got the roster, but they just got to get the quarterback and get it done. Let's try and make a playoff run. That's a weak division, the AFC South. So there's opportunities for teams. When you got a division where the Jags and the Texans are in your division, the other 2 teams are saying, wow, that's 4 wins. It should be. And like I said, I think Trevor Lawrence, bounce back year. Let's see if he's the phenom everyone thought he was. Went to Clemson, had all that talent around him. We'll see. He's got a good head on his shoulders. It was a disaster the coach he was with, Urban Meyer. Now Trevor Lawrence is with the pro coach who has a Super Bowl championship. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. Patrick Mahomes, of course, one of the best. Love him. Just, I don't think he can sustain this with all this running, diving. Maybe in the playoffs you've got to do that, but we'll see. And Chiefs lost, I think, the best receiver in football, Tyreek Hill. Now, they weren't going to pay him. He went and got paid in Miami. But the Chiefs and Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're going to suffer a little without Tyreek Hill, who demands double coverage on every snap. I mean, so that's going to hurt them. Andy Reid, good coach, great coach. He's got a Super Bowl championship. His Super Bowl record now is 1-2. He lost with the Chiefs, and he lost back in the day with the Eagles against Tom Brady. So Andy Reid has a 1-2 Super Bowl record. So enough of this that Andy Reid in a few years is going to be the GOAT over Belichick. Give me a break. He's a good coach, Andy Reid. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I used to know a friend who was from Pennsylvania. I knew him in Las Vegas, and he would tell me stories about Eagles games where Andy Reid was just a disaster at clock management. And now you're hearing Chiefs fans say the same thing. You would think you would be able to figure that out, either working with your staff under the headphones. Let's get this clock management. Well, maybe the offensive coordinator is the best at that. Okay, you run the clock management, but just get it done. Because Andy Reid, that's how do you not have good clock management? You're under the headphones. You got 3 other coaches there talking with you. You should be able to figure out the clock management. But that's going to wrap up the AFC. So I'm going to pick the Pats to win the AFC East. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win AFC North. I'm going to pick the Titans to win AFC South. And once again, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win the AFC West. And that's going to wrap it up for the AFC. And now, let's switch to the NFC on this 2022 NFL preview special from Sports Interactive. I'm Joe Mahan. And now let's talk about the NFC. And with me, I'm a Patriots fan. Well, if you're going to talk the NFC, you're going to start with one place and one place only. The Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about the boys. Jerry Jones, the owner, who I admire. I did a show just about Jerry. But here's the thing about the Cowboys. They haven't been to a Super Bowl in 27 years. They last won a Super Bowl in 1995. They won 3 out of 4. They had the dynasty. Jerry Jones was the architect of the dynasty. They needed 2 coaches to get that 3 or 4. Cowboys fans know the story. Cowboys fans are still talking about Jimmy Johnson over 27 years later. In those 27 years, the Cowboys have not gone to a Super Bowl. So obviously they haven't won a Super Bowl. The Cowboys in those 27 years haven't gone to an NFC championship game. So obviously they didn't go to a Super Bowl. Disaster, not getting it done. And I like Jerry Jones, but at some point, you're not getting it done because they spend the money. But here's the thing. In those 27 years as far as the Cowboys, I got to watch out. I'll spend the rest of the show talking about the Cowboys and their ineptness over these last 27 years. But quickly, in the last 27 years, the Cowboys have won 3 playoff games. 2 with Tony Romo and 1 with Dak Prescott. They haven't won back-to-back playoff games in all those years. Now, what's the reason? What do I think the reason is? Well, Jerry Jones has 4 titles with the Cowboys. He's the owner. He's the general manager. He's the president. And he's the CEO. When they put him on the screen on games, they put all those titles there. Well, maybe just be the owner. Maybe pick 2, Jerry. But as far as GM, you're not getting the job done. You brought in Bill Parcells, you wouldn't listen to him. All those other times you had your buddy coaches. Dave Campo, 2-5-11 season. So as far as the Cowboys this year, I think they kind of had their shot a few years ago. Dak's good, but Dak's getting up there. I know he's getting up there. He's not. I don't even think he's 30 yet, but coming off a shattered ankle, doesn't have the strongest arm. and Jerry just in first rounds going after receivers. So we'll see with the Cowboys. That division's wide open because it's not really good. It's not that strong a division. But here's a team. The Giants. Well, I'll go to the Giants. I wanted to talk about the Eagles. Let's go to the Giants. Not much to say about them. I think Daniel Jones was, like someone put it perfectly, overdrafted at number 6. The guy's tripped over the 10-yard line running in for a touchdown. So Daniel Jones just can't get it done. Has all the tools, 6'5", athletic, intelligent. Just not getting it done. Overdrafted. But they brought in Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, who helped develop Josh Allen. So Brian Daboll, if Daniel Jones isn't getting it done, he'll be like, "You're out of here. I'm not losing my job trying to prove that you're good when you've had 3 years already, maybe 4, to show what you can do." So we'll see about Brian Daboll. The other team I think did a great job last year was the Eagles. Last year they had a rookie coach, Nick Sirianni. They go to the playoffs. They get beat by the world champions, Tampa Bay. No shame in that. Had a great year. Jalen Hurts, excellent job. This is his second year. Takes the team to the playoffs. I like Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he's got a good enough arm. He's athletic. He can give you 70 yards a game rushing. I like Jalen Hurts. I joke around with Patriots fans sometimes. I say, what, I think Jalen Hurts is maybe better than Mac Jones. A good quarterback because I like his mobility. So the Eagles really did a good job last year. Washington, they got a good coach, Ron Rivera. They brought in Carson Wentz. I like that for them. And I don't necessarily think it's rolling the dice. He was the number 2 pick. He's very athletic. And maybe Ron Rivera can calm him down as far as not off the field, on the field, just trying to force it in. Sometimes like Joe Montana used to do. Throw the ball away and punt. Live for another day. Live to fight for another day. So Carson Wentz, we'll see. But the NFC East, jeez. With that one, I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win that division. With Dallas maybe fighting for a playoff spot. But as far as, we'll wrap up with that division, as far as Jerry Jones, it's almost, it's like in the Bible when the Jews were wandering in the desert for 40 years. It's like Jerry Jones has been wandering in the desert for 27 years. And the thing is, Jerry Jones has a dynasty in the 90s. 3 out of 4 championships. So it's amazing. You have a dynasty in your career, and you have this 27-year drought after that, where you're not getting to a Super Bowl. But we'll get back to it. Hopefully, I'm going to do another show about Jerry and the Cowboys. Just an amazing story. They got to get it done. They certainly get it done in business, as far as the brand of the Cowboys. Now, let's switch to the NFC North. The Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears. All right, let's start with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback. Enough of this that he's better than Brady. He's got 1 Super Bowl win and 1 Super Bowl appearance. So give me a break. He's not as good as Brady. Yeah, he throws a beautiful ball. Big deal. He's good, but I don't think he's as good as Brett Favre. So Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't elevate in that weak division. They should have been got a lot more done. They get to the playoffs, and that's a good organization. So I'm not putting it all on Aaron Rodgers, but this new coach, his first 2 seasons, they're 13-3 and 13-3. So we'll see about the Packers. They're good. They're certainly not great. And when Aaron Rodgers won his Super Bowl, they were 10-6. They went on a playoff run. So enough, please, about Aaron Rodgers being as good as Tom Brady. At this point, you sound ridiculous. So, but he's a great quarterback. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got a ring. But please, enough with Aaron Rodgers being as good as Tom Brady. Didn't Tom Brady go into Lambeau and smoke the Packers when he was with the Buccaneers in Brady's first year in the NFC? So enough about Aaron Rodgers being better than Tom Brady. Now let's talk about the Vikings. They fired Mike Zimmer, good coach, solid coach, and now they brought in an offensive coach. Hopefully they're thinking, Vikings fans, that Kirk Cousins can elevate a little more offensively. They got some weapons, that team. And again, it's a weak division. So we'll see about the Vikings. The Lions, I'll say this about their coach, Dan Campbell. I know he's some of the press conferences, people, he gets fired up. But I tell you what, that Lions team, they play for Dan Campbell. So, and like a guy I was talking to about earlier in the show, the Dolphins fans, he was saying, Jared Goff's pretty good. So we'll see about the Lions. Like I said, I really like how they respond to Dan Campbell. They play for him. That's big when you play for a coach. When you're in games, you're in games. So we'll see. And the Lions, I was talking about Cleveland earlier. Cleveland is one of the old NFL teams, never been to a Super Bowl. The Lions are like that too. The Lions are an old NFL team, have never been to the Super Bowl. And that could be the curse from 1957 when they traded their quarterback. He said, you won't win for 50 years, and he was right. That was Bobby Lane. And Bobby Lane helped the Lions win an NFL championship in the 50s. But the Lions are the Lions. Now the Bears, they got a new coach. I like Justin Fields, the young quarterback, 6'5" from Ohio State. He was a 5-star recruit. I think the Jets should have took him over Zach Wilson. Sometimes you're 6'5", you throw the ball through a brick wall. You went to Ohio State. You're a 5-star recruit. Don't overthink the room. But in a way, I'll take Zach Wilson in my division. I'm a Patriots fan, than Justin Fields. Because I think Justin Fields, if you get him a good offensive coordinator and a decent management team, I think he can get you to the playoffs. Some people will hire on Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see as far as that goes. The Bears, they've been to 2 Super Bowls. They got a 1-1 playoff Super Bowl record. They crushed the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and they got beat by Peyton Manning's Colts in the Super Bowl. So the Bears, with all their history, really haven't been getting it done in the Super Bowl era. 2 Super Bowl appearances with such great fans in a big city. So the Bears haven't been getting it done. We talked about it. While we're on the NFC North, who's better? Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers as far as the career? I'll take Brett Favre. Brett Favre, 2 back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, went 1-1. He outdueled Drew Bledsoe when they beat the Patriots 35-21. And the next year, going for back-to-back, John Elway beat him. And John Elway got his Super Bowl ring. So Brett Favre, the gunslinger. Can't say anything bad about him. Love watching him. He was kind of like a quarterback where instead of throwing it out of bounds and punting, he'll try and force it in there. That's why they call him the gunslinger. But Brett Favre, just amazing. And here's a little trivia question for Packer fans. Who's the Magic Man from the Packers? The Magic Man. And I tell you, a lot of you are like, well, I'll tell you who it was. It was Don Majkowski. Don Majkowski had a great year for the Packers. He's getting on all the talk shows. Then he gets hurt. The next year, guess who's on the bench? Brett Favre, and the rest is history. So the Magic Man is Don Majkowski for the Packers. All right, now let's talk about the NFC South. The Bucks, the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers. Let's start with the Bucks. I'm glad Brady's back in the league. He was playing at a high level. Many believed he could have been MVP last year over Aaron Rodgers. So I'm glad Brady's back. He's playing at just too high a level to give it up. There was things going on with him and BA, Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians, hey, Super Bowl coach. I think he's going to be a Hall of Fame coach, Bruce Arians. But they say about Bruce Arians, hey, he likes cocktails at 5 p.m. Brady's still in the facility till 7:30. So it's things like that Brady kind of moved. Bruce Arians out. Now Todd Bowles steps up, younger, hungrier. He'd like to get a Super Bowl ring on his own. So I think it was good for all parties with the Bucs to keep Brady in the league on that team, and they didn't fire Bruce Arians. They moved him up to the front office. So, and he did a great job. I like Bruce Arians. I like his philosophy, no risk it, no biscuit. So, and sometimes Brady doesn't really like that. Brady likes more of a precision offense. So they were working together. Sometimes, but you saw in that championship game when Tampa Bay, I don't know if it was a championship game, it was a playoff game when Tampa Bay beat Green Bay. They threw that long bomb right before half. That's no risk it, no biscuit. That's Bruce Arians football. I like BA. I love that philosophy. Not just in football, in life. Go for it. No risk it, no biscuit. You could say that about what the Jags did. Hiring Urban Meyer, no risk it, no biscuit. But you see that, that didn't work out for them. But I like Bruce Arians. I admire him. Good coach. Super Bowl ring as a head coach. 2 Super Bowls as an assistant coach, offensive coordinator. Excellent coach. I really like Bruce Arians. Did a great job helping the Bucs get that championship. Now then, look at the Bucs. They've got a 2-0 Super Bowl record. Not too shabby. All right, let's talk about the Saints. Drew Brees, gone, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion. They're trying to rebound, we'll say, not from Drew Brees, but as far as keeping that same level with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was the #1 pick in the draft, and he's looking good. It looks like he's slimmed down. He looks the best I've ever seen him. You would think he's a pro athlete. You should be in good shape. So Jameis Winston was not in good shape, and I think that's unacceptable. But Jameis Winston has the skills. We'll see though. The Falcons, I think the Falcons are always good for both Matt Ryan and them. Matt Ryan gets a chance to go to a team right on the brink of maybe making a playoff run, not just a playoff run, maybe a Super Bowl run. The Colts have a good roster, good coach, and the Falcons, they're rebuilding. So, that was one where it's good for both. And Matt Ryan, I mean, he still must lie in bed at night staring at the ceiling when thinking about that Super Bowl when they were up 28-3, and also when he hit Julio Jones late in the game and they were in field goal range to win that Super Bowl, and before you know it was 3rd and 30. It was 1st and 10 in field goal range. 30 seconds later, it's 3rd and 30. So just a disaster. Matt Ryan, what happened with the Falcons? Patriots fans, that's another one of our buddies, Dan Quinn. And Patriots fans, our other good buddy, Pete Carroll. So Dan Quinn, just absolute disaster. What happened in that Super Bowl? You're up 28-3. And the funny thing is, I don't mean funny, but interesting. Dan Quinn started his coaching career working for Bill Parcells. Didn't he learn anything? If Bill Parcells would have been up 28-3, he would have used the clock as his best friend. So, but that Super Bowl, that's just the way it goes. It wasn't all on Matt Ryan. That Atlanta defense gave up a score, I believe, on every other possession, from 28-3 to, I believe, I don't know what it was, 31-28, but either way, just a disaster for the Falcons. Falcons have an 0-2 Super Bowl record. In that division, the Falcons and the Panthers both have 0-2 Super Bowl records, so that's not good. But look at the bright side. The Patriots started out with an 0-2 Super Bowl record. Now, we'll finish up this division talking about the Panthers. Matt Rule, the genius college coach, turned around 2 programs. This is his 3rd year. He's got to get it done. They got Baker Mayfield in there at quarterback and Sam Darnold. Baker was the #1 overall pick. Sam Darnold #3. So you should be able to get something done with that unless they're both busts. And I mean something done. 10 wins, so Baker in Carolina. I think the Bucs are poised for a Super Bowl run. If they stay healthy, excellent defense, just a great professionalism on that team, I believe. I really like that team. I like the players. JPP, the job he did in that Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. I believe they kept Ndamukong Suh. So they're the Bucks. That's a fantastic roster. Okay, so now let's switch to the NFC West. The Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals. Rams, Super Bowl champions. What more can be said? Sean McVay, 2 Super Bowl appearances in his young career. He's 1-1. Got beat by the Patriots 13-3. With that great Rams offense, that's all they could muster was 3 points. But then they bounced back, and they get a Super Bowl last year. Beat the Bengals. So Sean McVay, one of the great coaches in football, one of the coaches who really turned it around. Only a few years ago said, I'm not playing with starters in preseason games. I mean, not even flying them out. So that, and not practice them hard. So he's way ahead of the game. And you're seeing now other coaches are, we'll say, copying him, learning. Saying, well, maybe you're right. Why have our players expend all this energy in 2-a-day practices? Let's keep them fresh. Bill Walsh used to do that to an extent. And Sean McVay's family worked for the 49ers back in the day. So, great coach, Sean McVay and the Rams. The 49ers, Shanahan, he's got to get it done. I'm hearing, well, the news now is that the 49ers said other teams can seek Jimmy Garoppolo. So they're putting all their eggs in the basket and saying, we're going with Trey Lance, number 3 pick overall. So the 49ers are kind of rolling the dice with that. Seahawks to the Seahawks. When I hear Seahawks, I think of the 1-yard line, not giving the ball to beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, and they want to throw it, and they went up against a stone cold killer in Malcolm Butler. You went up against the wrong person in that one. So Malcolm Butler said, you want to try and win a Super Bowl on my account? Not going to happen. Malcolm Butler, who's now back with the Patriots, and you watch that defense is going to be better. Malcolm Butler, fantastic. Just obviously what happened in that Eagles Super Bowl where Belichick benched him, and that was a nightmare, that Super Bowl for Patriots fan. But now the Seahawks, no more Russell Wilson. We'll see what Pete Carroll can do in that tough division. With no more Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray, he wants to get paid. He's almost near the end of his rookie contract. Tough decision. Should you pay him that kind of, that big money that Aaron Rodgers gets and Dak? I mean, you might as well. He's good. He's injury prone, but it might be he's with an inexperienced NFL coach. They start out well, and then they peter off at the end of the season. They run out of gas. But Kyler Murray, we'll see what happens there. They got talent, but we'll see. As far as my predictions, I'm going to pick the Eagles to win the NFC East, the Packers to win the North, the Bucks to win the South, and the Rams to win the West. Wild card teams, boy, that's tough. I'm going to say excuse me. Cowboys and Eagles make the playoffs. Boy, it's tough picking the Vikings to even make the playoffs. I'm going to say the 49ers, maybe a wild card. But so a lot of riding with the 49ers on. Was that a good pickup? Trey Lance, again, it's rolling the dice. Sometimes you have to. In life, you just got to take the risk, and that's what they did, drafting Trey Lance. Sean McVay is he's not only is Sean McVay an innovator as far as saying, I'm not playing my starters in preseason games, meaningless games. Sean McVay is also an innovator and not really caring about the draft. He wants players who are proven. So instead of he'll give up first-round picks and say, well, we'll use that money to get someone who's already in the league who's proven themselves. So Sean McVay is obviously getting it done. He's got his ring. He's got 2 Super Bowl appearances already. So Sean McVay is doing an excellent job with the Rams in a tough division. So we'll see what happens with them. I'm sure the Bucks would like to get another shot at the Rams in the playoffs. last year in the playoffs, the Rams are up 27-3. The Bucks tie it up at 27-27, and then late in the game, the Bucks blitz, and that's when Matt Stafford throws that long pass, and the rest is history. Where you would think, play back, don't be blitzing, but that was a no biscuit on the defensive side, and boy did it fail. So, but maybe the Bucks failed, letting them get up 27-3. And that was in Tampa. So do a better job when you're at home. Just switch back. We got a few more minutes left. Excuse me. As far as the Super Bowl, it might be a Bucks-Chiefs rematch. Two good teams. I wouldn't mind seeing that. The Packers will win the division, but we'll see. I'm hearing their receiving core isn't even rated one of the top 15 in the league, and they had all that time to build that squad. But and again, back to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts did an excellent job. Really good young quarterback. I'll finish up the show talking about a few of the young quarterbacks I like. I like that Jalen Hurts. Boy, you look around, there's really not that many. Excuse me. Kyler Murray, good young quarterback, not great. Justin Herbert, excellent young quarterback for the Chargers. Baker, good, certainly not great. I sound like the scout in Moneyball. But Zach Wilson, Tua, I don't think they're good young quarterbacks. I'm not saying they stink, but I'm talking about really showing something that's saying, wow, they got it, like a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I love him. I was a little disappointed. He was the number one pick. I was a little disappointed that he went to Cincinnati, because Cincinnati, they're known as the cheapest team in the league. They're the only team, unless they built one over the winter, they're the only team that doesn't have an indoor practice facility. So I was disappointed that Joe Burrow went to Cincinnati, but they had to pick. They picked him. He's from Ohio. He got him to a Super Bowl. Must be very disappointing that they didn't get the job done. But Cincinnati had their chances in that Super Bowl. 4 or 5 times in a row in the second half, they had the ball and couldn't get any points. So Cincinnati had their chances in the Super Bowl. It's not like the Rams rolled them. So we'll see what happens this year. And I think Lamar Jackson's a good young quarterback. Good young quarterback. I don't put that on him with, he's got a winning record. And he's going to develop. He's got a good arm. His first year in the league, he came in, he was thin. That first off season, boom, put on like 15 pounds of muscle. So I like Lamar Jackson. I'll take him as my quarterback any day. I think he's good. And just as far as the Cowboys with Jerry Jones, as far as business, you can't take anything away from him. Cowboys are at an all-time high as far as their brand. The Cowboys, Jerry Jones was instrumental in bringing the NFL to Las Vegas. It's just they can't get it done on the field in 27 years. Not even a conference championship, never mind a Super Bowl. So at some point, Jerry Jones has to look in the mirror and say, I haven't been a good GM for a quarter century. Maybe he should have relinquished those duties to his son, Steven. But Jerry, the showman, can't do it, and hopefully not against the Patriots, but I'd like to see Dallas win another championship with Jerry, kind of like George Steinbrenner won those championships early in his career and then got one later on in the twilight of his life. So hopefully Jerry Jones, but who knows, Jerry Jones, he might be 77 years young. He could be around for a while. But I like him. I like Jerry, but he's just not getting the job done. Cowboys fans are very frustrated because they got 5 Super Bowl championships. They weren't results. But as far as the Patriots, Belichick, let's see if Belichick can get it done without Brady. really, it's not a tough division. Buffalo's good, but you've got Miami and the Jets, so Patriots should be able to take that division back. They can beat Buffalo. Buffalo's not the steel curtain Steelers. They're good. They can be beat. Now, and I think the Patriots are going to really, it's going to be a benefit having Malcolm Butler back on that defense, because 3-4 times a game, Malcolm Butler will slow down Josh Allen. He'll run you down, and he'll fire up the rest of the defense. So I'm glad we got Malcolm Butler back. I don't think the Patriots should have paid J.C. Jackson. Good player. He wasn't worth that money. I think that was a good move that they let him go. He had a good year, but he wasn't worth what he was paid. Now, another team might say, let's get him because we want to get a Super Bowl. We're close. But in that one, as far as Belichick, in Bill we trust, as Patriots fans say. But I'm just going to wrap up this show, Sports Interactive, the NFL Preview Show 2022. I'm Joe Mahan for PEGRITV. Thank you for watching, and have a great football season. And right now, all the fans, we're all undefeated, so hopefully your team make a run, and who knows, maybe it'll be a surprise. Two teams come out of nowhere and go to the Super Bowl like that year the Rams went with Kurt Warner. So you don't know who's going to go, who's going to be the MVP, but can't wait. Patriots fans, keep the faith. We're going to win the division and make a nice playoff run. So I'm Joe Mahan. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.